Hey, what's up, good people? This is JJ here again, and this time around with a guitar demo. This is the Richwood Guitars Buckaroo Deluxe Tremola. And as far as I know, this guitar is an absolute bang for the buck. I don't think the Richwood brand is available in other countries than the Netherlands, but I've seen quite a few of them around here. And the first time my attention was drawn to this particular model, I wasn't so much attracted to the brand, but more to the models when I was visiting Kaufman's guitars in the Netherlands. As you guys know, if you've been following my channel, I love Albert Dynam's Kaufman guitars, Stellies and Strats and stuff like that. And he had one in the shop, and that looked terrific. It was the same guitar as this, only in dark red. And what attracted me to it was the build quality. No rough edges around the frets, very solid tone woods, and of course the most striking feature of this guitar is the Duesenberg Tremola. So this is kind of a Bigsby type vibrato, built by Duesenberg, who make very high-end guitars. And seeing a budget guitar such as this, I paid 350 bucks for this, 350 euros. Seeing such great hardware on a budget guitar like this really makes this thing a steal. So let me tell you a little bit about this guitar and why I bought it. I was looking for a Bigsby equipped electric guitar, something like a Gretsch, to add to my tonal arsenal for the band that I play in, Legendary Orchestra of Love, because the music simply screams for Bigsby bends and Bigsby dips. But I couldn't quite, like get the feel with most Gretsches, and not the more affordable ones anyway. And then I came across this one because of the vibrato system. Now, design-wise, of course, it's a plain Telecaster. It might not be the exact Telecaster body shape. I have the idea that it has a slightly bigger, like bottom than a normal Telecaster, but it certainly looks like a Tele. It also echoes, design-wise, it echoes a Tele Deluxe, a 72 Tele Deluxe with two humbuckers, kind of like the pickguard shape, and especially the Fender-style skirted amp knobs. They certainly remind me of old Tele Deluxes, right? So, and now, of course, from a distance, seeing this Bigsby-style vibrato gives it a Gretschi kind of vibe to it. And it also echoes a little bit of a Gretsch jet. A Pro Jet, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I bought this from a guy in Schiedam in the Netherlands called Appie Mol. Strange fellow. He owns this guitar school in Schiedam, which is right underneath Rotterdam. And he was selling these in the used market on Marktplaats for ridiculous amounts of money. Very, very affordable. So I just figured I should take a gamble and go and visit him. And what appears is that he's not only a guitar school and a guitar teacher, and has been so since the 1980s, but he's also a dealer for Richwood guitars. These are made in China guitars, but as soon as he gets these in, what he does is he polishes the frets, levels them if necessary. He works on the neck and does all of the setups himself. So I cannot tell you how this thing plays right out of the box, because when I went to see him, he had already set it up and had done a very good job at it. So nice looking tuners, decent enough, very, it holds its tuning very well. This is Canadian hard rock maple, Indian rosewood fretboard, 22 jumbo frets, which I really, really love. It has African mahogany body with a beautiful black sparkle finish. I don't know if it picks up on camera, but in the flesh, this really is a beautiful black finish. It's got two ceramic humbuckers, which are not the strongest point of the guitar, as I will get into a little bit later in this video. As I mentioned, skirted amp knobs, three-way toggle selector switch, and the Duesenberg tremolo. No string through body, obviously, because the strings run through the Tremola. Now, the cool thing about the Duesenberg tremolo system is, unlike with the Bigsby trem, it can be a real pain in the ass restringing a guitar with a Bigsby, because a Bigsby kind of has, on the roller bar, it has pins to which you have to attach the bullet ends of your strings, put tension on them, and then start winding them up. So they might come off as soon as you start winding at the headstock. So it's a pain in the ass setting up and restringing a Bigsby guitar, but no such problems with this type of vibrato, because they just run right through. Okay. Also, if you carry a normal set of Allen keys like you would use for your saddle setup and stuff like that, you can actually adjust the wiggle stick to be shorter or longer, or the angle at which you want to have it, which is also very convenient. Some players, they like to use the tremolo in their hands, so you can set it up a little bit more like this. Other players, like me, want it to be out of the way so you can reach your volume and your tone controls and then grab it as soon as it's your Bigsby moment. And you can also totally detach this thing by simply removing the stick, pushing out the spring over here so that it becomes kind of like a hardtail tunematic bridge. So things I don't like about this guitar are probably the pickups. They're decent vintage style humbuckers. They sound decent enough, but since I was looking for a Gretsch kind of guitar, something to add to my normal, like Tele sound that I get from the Kaufmans, which has tone riders, by the way, I feel that the guitar's pickups, they sound a little too dark for my tastes. But if that's your cup of joe, hey, that's cool, man. So what I did is I already ordered some pickups on tonefactory.nl to install into this guitar, and I actually ordered a Duesenberg vintage style humbucker sized Duesenberg pickup, and a humbucker sized P90 pickup, also a Duesenberg, a Domino I think it's called, for the neck position. And if you open this up, which of course I've done, the pots that are inside this guitar are ridiculous. They're like this big. So I ordered some decent alpha pots. I'm going to put 500k pots in it. So other than that, other than the electronics, visually it is a striking guitar, and playability is top notch on this thing, especially if you have it set up by a pro and have the frets level just a little bit. It feels like an old friend. So jumbo frets and a 12-inch radius, kind of a Gibson style radius, makes for easy, bending up on the neck, and it feels very very comfortable to play. I'm always a little bit bothered by guitars that look too new, so of course this maple is still very light, which will age over time, I suppose. So I intend to beat the hell out of this thing once I start playing it live next Friday. So I'm playing through my trusty Fender Bassbreaker 007 head into a Harley Benton cab with a Celestion Vintage 30, so proper Vintage 30 speaker. I've got the gain set at about 1 o'clock. I'll insert a still over here so you can see my amp settings, which of course is very subjective to the room that you're hearing it in, and I'm miking it all up with a super cheap Super Lux Sennheiser E609 kind of knockoff, which actually, stays in place a lot better than the original 609. So I hope that's pleasing to the ear. And I'm not going to touch the amp. I'm just going to let you hear what kind of rock and roll sounds you can get from this Richwood Buckaroo. Let's go to the middle position. And now just up the gain on the amplifier, let you hear some really heavy distorted rock sounds. In fact, I'll engage the treble boost on the bass breaker, not touching the EQ. Just a sec. So there you go, no clean tones in this video demo, guys. That is not what this guitar is meant for me. If you want to hear clean tones, there's plenty of guys demoing the Buckaroo on YouTube doing that. I just wanted to let you see what a big black dog of a rock and roll guitar this is. I will chime in back later to let you hear what it sounds like with the Duesenberg pickups, so you can hear kind of like a comparison. And I paid like 150 bucks for those, so 350 and 150, that's 500 bucks for a really great like pseudo Duesenberg guitar. I think that's a steal. Oh, before I forget, check out my new Instagram. That's at JJ Tanis on Instagram. So no more Facebook page and followers there, but Instagram. Beautiful photos of what I'm working on and what's going on in my guitar world, all in beautiful silver gelatine filters. So check that out. Signing off. JJ out.